My stinking hypothesis, man. Like I should have like my video together from I should get like Ben Davidson's videos and the Expanding Earth videos and put them all together into like one YouTube, you know,
Very cool.
like presentation as a hypothesis, but yeah, it's like the Earth's core is not round, it's actually more cylindrical, and there's this huge plasma chamber, magma chamber coming up right underneath Hawaii. You know, like it's pretty much like I think evidence that the core has been, you know, it's like a magnet.
Mm-hmm.
It's been pulled along. You know what I mean? You think of the shape of the magnetic mass. You know, you got to see this video, dude. Because like cereal. Oh wait, let's watch that again. Disaster. No, let's go down.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, cool. Here we are. Whoa, he's got new videos I have not seen yet.
Oh, new videos.
Oh, this is awesome. Yes, yes. Oh, they're just news from the other days. Okay, what are we doing? Earth core protrusion.
Earth core.
Earth core protrusion.
I will show you.
Update to the catastrophe series should pack quite the punch. In this series, which
Probably easier if you could post it.
which can answer almost every question people ask in the comment sections about the disaster cycle, there are 3 videos in particular that address the cyclical deluge, the invasion by the oceans, the surge deposits, the deposition, the sun rising in the wrong place, standing still in the sky, how modern geophysical and astrophysical evidence suggests there are 4 ways to tilt the planet, either by unlocking the crust from the mantle or by a severe electromagnetic insult to the core, which then jerks the asymmetrical aspects of the world. In particular, this update pertains to the Jennebekoff effect, the intermediate axis theorem, where that asymmetry causes simple rotation to result in tilting based on the severity of the asymmetry after a period of seemingly quieted and calm spin. Whereas the wildly popular YouTube channel Veritasium claimed this did not apply to Earth because we were pretty symmetrical about the spin axis, we countered with the evidence that we are not symmetrical in any way, shape, or form as a planet.
What was that thing?
The outer parts we can see tell us
It's just
that
a little knob in space.
of all
Space
violent
station.
earthquakes
Right,
ever
that's a few
snitch on
distance.
the asymmetry, and of course, the LLSVPs, the large, low shear velocity provinces, the pluming, thicker, conductive protrusions from the core mantle boundary up into
So that's
the
our
mantle,
map that
figuring
actually
out the
shows
places
where
like
we got
Hawaii
these
and the
big
East
old
African Rift,
blobs.
as you might infer from those
So you
facts
put that
indeed
into a
string out
3D
opposite sides of the
model
core,
and it shows
like
that we've
internal
got like this
handlebars,
big old
one below Africa,
blob,
and the
like
other below the
long,
Pacific.
lengthwise.
Symmetrical indeed. It is sort of
So
innate
it's like
at this
this-
point in geophysical knowledge to consider the planet symmetrical in any way, and when we went over in the
And as it's
series just
expanding.
how serious the electromagnetic forcing of the entire planet can be by the sun, I can remember looking back at all that evidence and thinking to myself, what's next? They're going to tell us the Earth's core is lopsided perpendicular to the LLSVP internal handlebars, and that T-shape actually does exist inside the planet? Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. Yes, that article from 3 days ago was the lopsided core, and yes, its extended portion bulges out under Indonesia, more specifically, the Banda Sea. Now, when we visualize this, it is not helpful to try to draw it on the projection we normally use to look at the Earth. The expanse of the Pacific plume makes it look like the band of sea core protrusion is actually almost part of the Pacific structure. But this is only due to that expanse of the Pacific sector. The actual center of the Pacific sector, making a line with the central plume beneath Africa on the other side, indeed puts the band of sea core protrusion exactly between, perpendicular, and while not a perfect T, it is a whole lot closer to a T-shaped anomaly structure than a symmetrical axis. So we can go ahead and add the lopsided core to the list. If you have not seen this series, it is very worth your time. Every day that ticks away is one day closer as we're well underway towards the next event. And with the world taking those days to fall further behind what could be, it's really on all of us to take responsibility for what we understand to be true and what's coming. Everyone alive today is a descendant of survivors of the last event and the one before. It's in your DNA. Your mind is the only weapon you need. For now. I'll see you in the morning for the daily update. Be safe, everyone.
So, I mean, I don't know. I was like, hello.
Nutrition that's a
Stop
step
it,
ahead.
stop it, stop it, stop it.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I was just kind of like, Ben does not, he's,
Who?
Ben Davidson, who does these YouTube videos, he's got a full understanding of like the electric universe and all of these, you know, dynamics that the media hasn't like really caught on to yet, you know, as far as like the mainstream media is, you know, like caught up on dark matter and all these anomalies. They're spending billions and not finding, you know what I mean, because they're going in the wrong direction. Like it's there's this huge like you know, science has hit kind of like a dead end as far as like not being able to make astrophysics match with macro, you know, like with micro. Anyway, but it's like there's a universal understanding if you understand electricity and apply that to the galaxies and, you know, to the planets and all the electrical interactions and the plasma physics that are going on with everything that we've seen. Like if you apply plasma to, you know, I mean, it's just clear as day, like how the shit functions, you know. And so if you think of these planets as electrical buffers for us as a star, as it's flying down a filament, down an electric current, you know what I mean? Like a wire, like an electron going down a wire. The sun is flying through the galaxy's arm, and it's like sparking, and it's got its little component capacitors that keep it from popping and actually exploding all the way. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's like a plasmoid. So it's taking the current, you know, and behind it, and it's, you know, it's like it forms a plasmoid, and the more current that is, you know, directed, you know what I mean, the bigger the star and brighter the star gets, you know, to a point. So there's it's a huge topic. A lot of people are not, you know what I mean, like caught up in astronomy and all of the, you know, like all of the discoveries we've made so far with the satellites we've sent into space and so on. It's just like some of this shit is just like we're barely receiving signals from past the sun, you know, like the sun's atmosphere. We've sent satellites out, you know, just as the sun's flying through the galaxy, and just causing this, you know, this huge like vortex wave of energy. Like there's this buffer zone that's caused by the sun, but then like we're actually going out. We sent probes past the into outer space, past the heliosphere, you know, and so it's just like we're barely able to measure. You know what I mean? Like these things. Anyway, it's all on the drawing board still. And that's the surprising thing to me. I was just like, oh, I thought they had this shit figured out. You know what I mean? The core and the mantle and all this stuff. But these are still undiscovered. Nobody has a hypothesis yet that actually fits all the data, all of the anomalies that we see, everything that, so comets are a huge thing that like signify like the electrical interaction that material experiences coming close to the sun from as compared to outer space. You know, there's definitely like a discharge event going on, and they form a coma, like a water bubble around them, pretty much. And that made them think that they must be made of snowballs or whatever, of water, and then they land these things and on these things, and they're just fucking solid rock, dude, like Tektite fucking rocks, dude, like magnetized fucking double lobed fucking electric fucking chiseled, you know, like rock, dude. And there's no fucking water on them at all. No snow, no fucking at all. Like the water is not there. It's being created by the solar wind, like the hydrogen blasting off of the sun, and this little rock is oxidizing and chiseling, you know, like as it's in this electrical environment. You should hear the sound that they sent to this comet. It's all just being chiseled, dude, like by space. This fucking, like this comet that just flew by. Yeah, they just sent a probe to this comet, and it just sounded so crazy, dude. Anyway.
So like it's getting chiseled?
So yeah, I mean, comets are the answer, dude, for sure. And, you know, their Venus was known as like this great comet, you know, in history. Like it was just like the comet goddess or some, I don't know, I don't remember. There's a huge, you know, anyway, Venus is like been known to have that the appearance of a comet all the way across the sky. And we've witnessed in modern times, we actually saw the sun hit Venus with a coronal mass ejection and splashed plasma right at it, and it hit it so hard that it blasted Venus's atmosphere off, and it was gone for almost 24 hours before it built back up.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so anyway, yeah.
So we just gotta make sure we have a
my
capsule that we can live in for 24 hours.
My hypothesis was that as our star is flying through the galactic arm, it used to be like in this vortex. It used to be a binary system with Jupiter. Jupiter was a brown dwarf, and in comes Saturn with its own moons. Saturn had its. We could have been flying around Earth, maybe, or I mean, Earth could have been flying around Saturn at that point, and Saturn might have been our star, or something. Or we were already on, you know, flying around our sun, and in comes Saturn with Mars and Venus, and Saturn is just obviously a planet maker. If you see the rings are just evidence of a new planet being born recently, right? So Titan is probably the newest one that was born in all the whatever decimation. But I think it has to do with when the sun goes through different frequencies in the galaxy. Different densities of gas and in the electric field, of the universe is polarizing, all of the so all the stars are actually flying, like they're ponderatively being driven along the ponderative force is the force that particle experiences when it's like drawn down an electric field, like so the hadron collider, like ponderative forces.
Okay.
And so electricity through a current through a wire is a ponderative force. It's actually like driven like lightning, ponderative force. So the sun is being drawn down this current in the galaxy, and it might have been a binary and then caught a third one, and it caused like major chaos in between the planets. Like if Saturn had its own planets, and there might have been like a whole reverberation, you know what I mean, between the whole solar system. So it would just been like, you know what I mean, like just totally changed tones or whatever, and as it's going, and just look like a splash, you know what I mean, from far back. It would just like look like almost an explosion as it goes around. But the sun survived, and the Jupiter survived, and as Mars came across Earth's, like Mars and Earth almost hit, but our magnetic cores might have repelled each other and reflected, and Mars might have pulled our core in half, and formed its own little magnetic core, separate, as they flew apart from each other, and it started our moon. Actually could have been pulled from Earth through Hawaii, like out into, like there could have been like Earth as it was expanding was smaller when this happened, and then as this electrical event happened, there would have been an interplanetary lightning bolt between all of the sun would have actually like shocked, and there we've seen interplanetary lightning bolts in nebulae and stuff. So we transferred energy, like through a current, and an electric current would follow the path of least resistance, as all of those lined up, and that's what made the scar on Valles Marineris on Mars and the Grand Canyon on Earth, and pulled up all of those rocks as everything, and it was just like lightning right in between those, and it actually pulled the moon from inside Earth as it passed by, and that would be like all of this would be an electrical differential, which if E equals mc squared with mass, you know what I mean? So if the electrical charge, the energy of the mass would change, then you know what I mean? Like then the current that the sun is flying down might have changed, and that would actually change the the parameters of how the frequency of the solar system all lines up and equalizes. Like it has to just go. It has to equal. Like you know what I mean? Like the math has to equals MC squared. So it has to be like a balance of energy. It's always trying to find that balance, but the solar system is like all the planets are like held in place. Not like it's not like they teach like you used to teach us 30 whatever years ago, like it was just chaos and just fell into place on accident with gravity. But this is just like harmonics, fucking electric, fucking everything is just like, have you ever seen those drums where the salt always makes those patterns and
exactly.
mandala,
That's
all
what I
those
was
patterns?
thinking. Yeah.
I mean, dude, like all that
Vibration.
shit, like the frequency of the sun it changes as it flies through the electric conditions of the galaxy, and it's chaos. It is a fucking swirling mass of energy, just all spitting out jets, and you know what I mean? Like it's a toroidal field, and everything is interacting and electric and magnetically connected. Those magnetic field lines go out all the way. You know what I mean? They're central. Everything is, and we're electric beings. Like right in the. So, anyway, I just feel like that the way the moon is always facing Earth, the same direction. You know what I mean? It's just like we're being pulled apart, as we spin around each other. We're just like, and it's just like barely getting further and further and further away, as so like it's like an inch a year or something away, or something further as it spins away. But I mean, if you subtract that, it just goes all the way back to where they were touching.
Why doesn't it spin? It's so weird.
I mean, it spins on its own, but like as we spin, it's weird.
It spins too?
Well, it's
not fully though. You can never see the backside of
it. The analogy is to like throw a wrench on the floor and watch it. The handle is always facing the claw. You know what I mean? Like they'll always be facing each other.
Oh, right.
Kind of thing. But if you look at the circle on the hole, that's rotating.
Yeah.
And you look at the claw, it's rotating.
Yeah.
So it's like that. Anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting too. It ties in with ancient cultures. Talking about the time before no moon.
Yeah, no moon. The ancient cultures talking about the time before there was a moon. Exactly. And before the sky changed. And all that shit, dude. Like, and then you look at all the cave paintings and they look like plasma formations and stuff, dude. Like they're totally like interplanetary lightning bolt. Like those were warning signs. Those were descriptions of what happened. That was like the last frequency change of the solar system. And I mean, we don't know when the next one is to occur, but we do know that the Earth is going through crazy magnetic changes right now, like serious shifts. All the planets are changing big time.
Do you keep up with the Schumann resonance? Oh, it's the current vibrational frequency of the planet. It's in Russia. They have this like tester meter thing, and it's always going wild and hitting new heights and stuff. You should Google that one. I'm curious what's that.
So yeah, Ben Davidson's got it all. I've seen him catch 99% of the questionable hypotheses that are suspiciously not being looked at. But the expanding Earth to me seems very clear. Just like, how was this not like, everybody stop, like, hello, like, obvious.
What, expanding the Earth?
Yeah, the expanding Earth. You look at the age of the ice of the seafloor maps, and they've tested how old the rocks are on the surface and everything, and it goes from just like 10 million to 20 million to 30 million years old, 70, all the way back. And 70 million years old was when the dinosaurs fucking died, and all the continental plates were touching when that happened. Like, you just subtract it. It's just like, blah, 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 blah. Like, the map shows this land is, like, it's coming from the rifts in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific. At the same time, it's opening up. Atlantic is opening up. Pacific is opening up huge. It's like one way, dude. Like, fucking huge, dude.
What is?
The Earth. It's just like. Have you not seen the expanding Earth videos?
Mm-mm.
Dude, I cannot believe, like, they don't at least give kids, like, in school, like, the option to consider this hypothesis. Like, what is science, man? They just, like, think one thing, remember this answer. Like, hello, dude, this makes total fucking sense. And then you look at the Pangea map thing that they fucking put together because of fossil records, and it must have done this, and then done this, and then done this, and done this, and it's all fucking scrambled eggs all over the place. And, like, how the fuck would the land move like that? It makes no sense. But then you watch the fucking expanding Earth video, and you're just like, holy shit, all the continents fit all together if you just subtract the ocean. All of them. Perfect, like a puzzle, dude. Like one of those puzzles you couldn't fucking spend, like, you know what I mean? Like one of those brain puzzles it'd be like perfect.
Interesting.
What are the chances that it would fit together perfect and then just open up perfect the way it is now too? And they've got the map showing that the oceans go in. Like, I mean, it's just like, that's the evidence. It's obvious. We have the evidence now. They put 2007 was when they put that map out, with the Navy had gone through and done sonar and done all these things.
Which
and
map?
The age of the ocean floor map.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like obvious. I should look it up for you.
You should.
Anyway.
Need some water with.